what the modern tourist easily misses is the history on these beaches. It's easy to get swept away in the beauty of Percé Rock and the surroundings at Percé and Bonaventure Island. And as you're walking the beaches, it's easy to not fully grasp the vast history, the history of the cod fishery and the 300, 400, 500 years of history that have occurred on the beaches, and the amazing sights and scenes from those days. So trying to capture a little bit of that spirit, reading from the chapter of the Denis Seigneury in Gaspe the Romantique Revisited. During the time of Denis, the Percé Mission grew in size and importance. And in 1675, the great missioner of Percé, Father Chrétien Leclerc, would arrive and briefly stay at the manor house in the Malbaie. Father Leclerc would go on to devote his main work to living with the Mi'kmaq, totally alone, traveling great distances and wintering with them in the Restigouche River estuary. The mission at Percé, overseen by Father Junot in Leclerc's absences, would flourish in this golden age of the cod fishery, centered at Percé in the earliest days of Nouvelle-France. Dr. Clark described the imagination of a scene on the Percé beach around 1680. These are his words. It was a rough crowd, the hardest and the hardiest the home ports could supply. They were Basques and Bayonnais, Biscayans and Normans, and perhaps a few Yankees from the Massachusetts colonies. The seigneur and his family filled with loyal pride in the labors of the sun. So while the priest served at the altar to a handful of the faithful, the beaches were still thronged with a boisterous, drunken, riotous crowd, caring not for the doings of the little church of St. Peter. So extraordinary was the activity of the coasts in these days that never since has there been so much done in the business of fishing. And even when the settlement became fixed, the riotous practices of the inhabitants were notorious. But yet, during the days of the Seigneury, what a luminous procession passed under the shadow of the great rock, entering by this gate upon their careers of discovery. Marquette and Joliette, La Salle and Perrot, the great white galaxy of pioneers on their odysseys to open a domain larger than the Roman Empire.